Hey guys, so I was really happy to see the two young players in the Women's US Open final, Emma Raducanu against Leylah Fernandez. I thought they both played spectacular tennis, and I thought that Emma Raducanu played some of the best tennis that I've ever seen at any Grand Slam. If you look at her results from the first round of qualies all the way to winning the tournament, she barely lost any games in the sets. She, in fact, didn't lose a single set in the entire tournament. And I thought to myself, wow, if she continues like this, she's going to be a force to reckon with and very easily climb to #1 in the world. But then I remembered, wait a second, the WTA Tour has so many one-time Grand Slam champions, and interestingly, it has a lot of Grand Slam champions that go on slumps after winning their first Grand Slam. For example, Sloane Stephens couldn't win a match for 8 months, I believe, after winning the US Open. Monica Puig had a similar thing happen to her. She didn't win a Grand Slam, but she won the Olympics, maybe even more important because she's from Puerto Rico. And she could never get her form back after winning the Olympics. She has struggled ever since. So the reason why I'm making this video today is that I've heard that Emma Raducanu is getting rid of her coach and she's looking for a new coach because she lost in the first round of Indian Wells, her first match back after winning the US Open. In my opinion, the three mentally strongest players of all time are Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal. And I already made a video talking about one of the worst losses that I ever had and the mistake that I made. I was too emotional after this match and ended up quitting tennis for a few months because of it. But interestingly, it happens the other way around as well. If you're too happy, if you're too satisfied after winning a match or after winning a big tournament, it can work against you as well. Now, if you carefully watch the facial expressions on the big three after they win Grand Slam tournaments, it's something that's fascinating to watch. Yes, they're super happy to win the tournament. They're going to throw themselves on the court. They might even be crying. But as the minutes of the trophy presentation are fading, the big three all get their game faces back on. Their happiness seems to fade away as time goes on. And I'm talking about within the span of a half hour. So the lesson that we can all take away from the big three is that we have to be emotionally stable when we lose, but we also have to be emotionally stable when we win. Do not let your lows get too low and don't let your highs get too high. Now, what happened to Monica Puig, for example, is not necessarily her fault, but the country of Puerto Rico was so proud to have a gold medal that the celebration went on way too long. So she allowed the highs to get too high, and I think a similar thing is happening to Emma Raducanu. She's from England. They haven't had a women's Grand Slam champion in a long time, and Emma, just like Monica, allowed the highs to get too high. And what's happening now is that reality is kicking in for Emma. She should have forgotten about the US Open, as difficult as this sounds, immediately the day after and gone back to work, because now the pressure is immense. She's ranked higher. Everybody is expecting her to continue to do well, and this is not so easy to handle for a young player. So I think what's important for Emma in this season, there's still a few tournaments left, is to not stop now after Indian Wells, but try to get some good results in the following tournaments, get some wins under her belt so you can slowly build her confidence back up. Because as crazy as this sounds, she won the US Open, now she lost first round of Indian Wells, and her confidence is way down low. You guys probably think this sounds crazy, but it's the absolute truth. That's the crazy thing about tennis. You have to continuously do well if you want to keep your confidence level high. And I already know what you guys are going to write in the comments. You're going to say, Nick, are you looking for a job? And no, I don't want to be a tour coach. And actually, I don't qualify because Emma said that she wants someone with tour experience, which I don't have. And also, I don't have any interest in being a coach on tour anyway. I'm a YouTuber after all. I want to make videos for you guys, and that is extremely time consuming. So in any case, the important takeaway from Emma's win at the US Open and her loss very early in Indian Wells is that we have to have emotional stability as tennis players. We cannot allow the lows to get too low, but also we can't allow the highs to get too high.